it's the Conglomeration versus the Elite. And cool, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everyone got their shit in. But post-match.
But I'm over the Conglomeration already.
I don't like the name. I just don't like the name.
I don't like them either. Like it just kind of is like, I'm like, all right, they're there. They're all fine individually again, right? Like it just.
Well, Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe would be great just as a tag team themselves. Rocky Romero.
Could we get like a ride-along style vignette segments of Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe making the towns?
Yes.
Having to stop at gas stations and oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurants, hotels.
Yeah.
All of it. Yes.
Going in the country, right? You know, they're doing some farm work at the Briscoe farm.
Since we're here in Philly, I got to stop by the chicken farm and do a couple of things. And he'll be like, all right, I'll help, whatever. And then he's like Chuck Hay and shit. Yeah.
That would be great. But let's just call it for what I think it is. The hanger-ons, Rocky Romero and Kyle O'Reilly, you all get the fuck on. Look, Rocky Romero, someone has to love him backstage because he gets so much TV time for someone
he's like an
who
exec
I've
over
never
at NJPW, isn't he? So I think he's like,
well, I don't give a shit about him. And Kyle O'Reilly stinks.
You know, people who love the wrestling over there in NJPW and love the New Japan stuff love these folks, these Rocky Romeros, the Kyle O'Reillys. They must have went over well there. It's not our thing. We need some storyline, and these guys have never connected us in a storyline, right? Rocky Romero,
don't care.
They just feel very generic. Kyle O'Reilly, Rocky Romero, they just feel generic to me, right? They feel like you could have put anybody else in this position and nothing different would have happened about any of this storyline. You know what I mean?
Can I tell you why I hate Rocky Romero? He's an asshole who wears an eye patch that doesn't need it. Fuck you. It's the stupidest.
Long John Silver up in here?
Well, why would you act like you have something impairing you, your vision, your hearing, whatever it is, and then be like, but I'm not going to wrestle with it. Fuck you.
And Fuck Your Mama 2 times says, so he's an executive in both NJPW and AEW, and he's the reason for Forbidden Door. And that's all fine and great, but do that.
Yeah, stay back there.
Be more Christopher Daniels than this, I think. I mean, it's not to say we don't value, we don't appreciate anything you might have done or whatever, but I don't see this advancing anything with the Conglomeration or its storylines. So I
don't give a shit. I don't care. I really don't care. The only three people in the Conglomeration that should be hanging out and it would actually be good TV is Willow, Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe. Kyle O'Reilly, Rocky Romero, anyone else that wants to fucking join Hook? No, get the fuck out of here. No. And the name is stupid. I don't like that. And Rocky Romero with his dumbass eye patch. Hate that.
Yeah. It feels to me like it's what the Dark Order role was for a while there, where it's like, everybody come out, we love this group, right? And they get shit on. Next town, right? Everybody loves this group, right? And they take the L. And next town, fuck them, right?
Well, let's talk a little bit about the Dark Order, because in this match, Jon Moxley shows up and he starts beating the shit out of Orange Cassidy. And then does the rest of the.
Yeah, man.
Well, it was Yuta that first came out, right? Mm-hmm. So Yuta comes out, whop, gotcha. And credits to Tony Schiavone. He's like, this is the man that trained Yuta. And Yuta's just kicking the fuck out of Orange Cassidy. Now, we've done that storyline previously when he first left the Best Friends to join Blackpool Combat Club. But if you did it again, I wouldn't hate it, right? It adds something to Orange Cassidy.
You're a bully, you pick on people multiple times.
Yeah. And it adds some depth to both people, right? Like it says that Orange Cassidy cares about people and it shows that Yuta can actually be an asshole, right? So I like that part. So he comes in, he's beating him up, then Claudio, then Pac, then Marina, then Jon Moxley, and they're beating the fuck out of him. Well, thank God Orange Cassidy has friends, because then Dante Martin and Top Flight come out and then they get beat up, which my favorite part was old Spaghetti Hair, whatever the fuck his name is, the one that beat Jericho. Who was that guy?
Oh, yeah. Action Andretti. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that fucker. He does the backflip thing, and John Moxley's like, get the fuck out of here. Hits him right in the back of the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck your flips. I thought that was the best part of this whole segment.
No flips, just fists.
Oh, no, done, FTR. Go fucking get out of here, you know? And so they're beating the shit out of him.
He said in his video in the opening, get out of the damn way. And that's what he said. Get out of the damn way.
And that's what he did here. Now, again, this was the part where Marina, I think, was about to fucking choke out Orange Cassidy, like, for real. Or no, it was John Silver, like, for real, like, got the shit on that. But they're beating him up.
Hey, and I want to shout out Wrestling with Neurodivergence podcast. They covered this on their thing. I don't want them to do that. I don't want to, like, hanging people regularly and choking them out, like, hanging from the fucking post and shit. Like, that's a little, like, yeah, right?
Well, the only person that should do it is Hangman. That's how his fucking name became out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only person that should do it.
And it should be like else, to end something, right? Like, it shouldn't be a big moment instead of just like, we're randomly beating up everybody. You're going to get hung off the fucking side post. Like, guys.
Yeah. Well, like Hangman, to the best of my knowledge, off the top of my head, the only time he has hung someone was John Moxley in their Texas death match. That's how he quit. Right. So again, that's his thing, right? Jake the Snake had the DDT. No one else did the DDT at that time. No one else does the hanging except for Hangman, right? But the scarf choke is a real jiu-jitsu. Anyhow, I don't want to.
No, I get it. But like, that's again where it's like, okay, and I get that's your thing, right? I mean, she's doing all these kind of chokes. She does one later in the show where it's like, I know you fighter folks are really into showing that you're fighter folks, right? You love your chokes and stuff. And it's like, okay, but like, Jesus.
Yeah, these wrestlers are, which, But Dark Order comes out. Speaking of Dark Order, they come out. So they get their ass kicked, and they do this cool spot to Alex Reynolds where they put his ass up against. This is where I think he was getting hung a little bit, where he's like up against the post, and Claudio and Pac are like, "Guess what? We're gonna hit you in the dick with this fucking stare." There it is. Take that. You know, they fuck him up.
Somebody would pay good money for that.
Yeah, you know, maybe he did. He's like, "Oh,
we got AEW through the pandemic.
I can do that spot. No, it's all good." Now, Moxley, and I'm reading this from AEW because I want to make sure I got this right. He says on the mic, because as they're kicking everyone's ass, he just grabs the mic and starts cutting a promo. He says, if you're involved with All Elite Wrestling, you're under attack. This is just the cost of doing business. And Tony Schiavone says they set their sights on Orange Cassidy, the man. There it is. The man who has been the face of AEW. Very interesting, that last line. Because Darby Allin in his promo battle with Brody King said he was the face of AEW.
And I don't think either one of them really were the face of AEW.
Well, I think it's John Moxley, if we're being serious. Or it's certain,
or it's MJF, or it's CM Punk.
But here's the thing. So he says that Excalibur says no one's heard from Darby Allin since the pay-per-view. Like, we can't get a hold of him. What the hell? Where is he? So keep that in the back of your mind. The comment that Tony Schiavone says about Orange Cassidy, keep that in the back of your mind. And then while this is also all going down, before John Moxley cuts the promo, the Elite are just standing there conflicted. The Dark Order even says, aren't you supposed to be the leaders? And runs past them to go fight the Blackpool Combat Club or whatever we're calling them.
Well, and
what do you think about that?
People give the Elite shit as we move into the next, like they're backstage being like, what the fuck was that? Like, you guys don't.
Yeah.
You're supposed to run this place. You built it, bitch. Like, what do you? Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. We're still in this gray area of like, do they know what's going on and are stepping aside? Are they involved? Are they just like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Picking our battles. I don't know what to make of this with the Elite.
And also, again, I'm just going to call them the Blackpool Combat Club until they tell us otherwise. The Blackpool Combat Club were in reaching distance of the Elite and never looked over there. They only looked at these people here.
And, super kicked him right in the side of the jaw.
Well, what I'm saying is like Claudio didn't grab Matt Jackson or anything.
True. So the other way is what you're saying, like, you also weren't victims. You didn't jump in and help, but you also weren't victims. You were allowed to just stand there. Yeah. When he said, if you're involved with AEW, And you guys are involved pretty heavily.
Yeah. So Jack Perry comes down and was like, hey guys, let's get the fuck out of here. Right. But that was the interesting part is, yes, I know what the story is, at least how they're kind of beating you over the head with it is what will the Elite do? But I thought it was very interesting of, well, what will the Blackpool Combat Club do? Because they didn't even acknowledge him. Like, do they just, because I still go back to that little moment when Jon Moxley was on his way to the ring and he passes by the Elite and he says something to Jack Perry where he's like, you're a good kid or something like that. Matt and Nick just kind of, okay, what's up?
Yep.
And just, but he doesn't like try to like, punk him out. He just goes right by. That has to be something.